Hi, my name is Samantha Pimen, and today we'll be talking about paraphilic sexual disorders. Paraphilic disorder is an intense sexual interest that is repeatedly and intensely stimulated by thoughts or behaviors elicited by stimuli. The term paraphilia is credited to Frederick Solomon Krauss in 1903, but wasn't introduced to the English language until 1913. Though there are different sites citing different things, so this could be wrong. I will give my sources. Most people with sexual interests do not have a mental disorder, and in order to be diagnosed with this mental disorder, they either have to feel personal distress about their interest or have a sexual desire that involves another person to have psychological distress, injury, or death, or involves an unwilling person. Also, it must last more than 6 months. Paraphilia that does not meet the DSM-5 criteria is not considered a mental illness, but individuals with thoughts and behaviors may still go to treatment for it if they wish. To define the line between atypical sexual interest and disorder, they changed the name slightly so that way they're more defined. This is so the DSM-5 distinguishes between atypical sexual interest and mental disorder. This is so someone can consensually engage in atypical behavior without being inappropriately labeled with a mental disorder. There are 8 disorders that the DSM-5 looks at, and this is sexual masochism, sexual sadism, transvestic, paraphilic, exhibitionistic, photoistic, voyeuristic, and fetishistic. All of these, there is a difference between coercive and non-coercive. Coercive means to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do, which is non-consensual. Then there is non-coercive, which means to do something without having to force somebody, which is consensual. Sexual masochism is non-coercive, sexual sadism is non-coercive, transvestic is non-coercive, and fetishistic is non-coercive. Now, paraphilic, exhibitionist, photoistic, and voyeuristic are all coercive, meaning they are non-consensual. The 3 common DSM-5 disorders that most people have is exhibitionist, paraphilic, and fetishistic. And we'll go through and show you what they all mean. The sexual arousal through receiving physical or psychological pain is sexual masochism, which means that they like receiving pain from some sort of paddle, whip, or they like being degraded by another person. Sexual sadism is the association of sexual arousal with pain, which means they like giving pain to another person through a paddle, through a whip, through degrading another person. Transvestic is the sexual arousal derived from wearing clothing of the other sex. So this could be a guy dressing as a girl, which is a drag queen, or a girl dressing as a guy, which is a drag king. Paraphilic is the intense sexual arousing fantasies, urges, or behaviors involving prepubescent or young adolescents. So usually this is a young child and an older adult, which is very much so non-consensual. Exhibitionist is the sexual arousal associated with exposing one's genitals to an unwilling observer. So this could be somebody walking up to somebody else in a park and whipping open the coat or whatever and showing them their genitals. Photoistic is the obtaining sexual pleasure by pressing against or rubbing against another person in a crowded public space. So this could be when somebody is on a train and they're pressing against another person and they're just causing things that other people don't want. Voyeuristic is the sexual arousal associated with observing naked bodies or sexual activities of people without their consent. So this could be a peeping Tom or just somebody who is watching another person in the house. Very much so non-consensual. Fetishistic is the sexual arousal associated with focus on inanimate objects or body parts. So this could be a clothing like bras or shoes or feet, something like that. 3 questions that I have is, do males or females report paraphilias more? And the answer to this question is males report more, but females can still have paraphilias. They are just not reported as often. The second question is, are there only 8 paraphilic disorders? And the answer to that is no. But there are 8 main conditions that the DSM-5 looks at, but there are still more that are around. Is it unusual to have more than one paraphilic interest? The answer to that is no. Most people will suffer from 2 to 3 paraphilic interests at a time or even within their lifetime. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.